Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to show you guys how to edit your food photos in under 10 minutes. Honestly, it shouldn't even take more than 10 minutes. But first, I want to talk about some of the processes that you guys should be taking before you even take the photos into your Lightroom or editing software. So at first, as you guys could see in this photo, that it's already looks like it's edited. I mean, I don't want to brag, but it's just, that's how I shoot my photos. I want them to look bomb first, and then after that, whatever I do in editing process, in the post process, that's just gonna take it to the next level. So this right here, it looks good, but you know, as you can see, there's still room for improvement. As far as like any distractions in the photo, like there's really none. So I wouldn't have to bring this to like Photoshop to like edit it or do anything crazy to it. Except for this little piece right here. It looked like it's broken off a little bit, but you know what? It's not too distracting. It gives it some character. So, all right, so let's jump into the video. Let me show you guys how to do this real quick. Literally under 10 minutes. So first, what I like to do is I like to go to my white balance, which is always on top here. I like it more on the cooler side. See, instantly it gives it some character, right? So with that being said, the greens and the magentas, maybe right here, very light. I try to get my white balance proper in camera, so I don't have too much issues. First, what I like to do is I like to go to the dehaze slider right there, and I'll kind of like hit that off a little bit. You see, instantly that kind of give it some attitude already just by putting it on there. So I like to keep it very low, anywhere between like 6 or 11. I think 7 will do for this one, if I can get it there. There it is. Now I do not touch the exposure slider unless it's like a really dark photo. But this photo right here, like I would not touch it at all. So what I would do is I would raise my whites. It's very important for me. See, instantly I raise the whites. It gives it a really nice, crispy, airy look, right? So let's check the before and after. Before, after, instantly that thing is saucy. Instantly. Before, after. So as you can see, there's a little blue cast right here. I'm gonna show you guys how to take that off, especially if you have like a controlled set like I have with not too many colors going on. It's basically a white and off-white, so you'll get some of these low cast. Oh, and look at this right here. That right there, I would basically bump that off. All right, but that's gonna take away from our timer here. So back into it, I would go directly sometimes into the shadows, but I don't feel like this shot needs any shadows lifted, because when you use the shadows, what happened is that you would have to hit some dehaze again. So I try to stay away from the shadows, but you want the photo to have some type of character. The highlights, as you can see, like right here, there's a little glistening right here going on, like right here. Like you want to touch those a little bit. So I would pop it just a little bit right there. And as you can see, it just gives it a little bit of character. The clarity for this particular photo, I would hit some clarity on there. Maybe like 12. Yeah. Now here's where the probably lower. I'll probably bring it to like. So now here's where the interesting thing happens. Right here, you want to check this curve out right here. There's 2 different type of curves. You have the point curve, the linear curve, and you have like this curve, that type of curve that kind of like goes down by itself, but everything changed along with it. It's very like mechanical. So what I like to do with that, let's reset it. What I like to do with that is I like to go to the shadows area and bring that down. Instantly, it kind of like gives the picture a little bit more depth, especially on this side right here. Like, you want to give it some type of attitude and character. So instantly, we do the before and after. Photo looks completely different already, and we didn't even touch anything. So let's hit the color sliders a little bit. I say with the greens, I would bring the green hue up maybe about 3. What's interesting is I was going to show you about that blue cast. We're going to hit the blue cast down here. We're going to desaturate that. Boom. See that? Instantly. Just make sure there's no blues in your shot, or that could like kind of mess it up. As you can see, like the onions, I don't know, I might have to boost that up a little bit. Looks like it's in the purps and maybe the magentas. Cool. And then what I would do for the greens, especially to make them look fresh, I would bring the luminance down in the green and then kind of bring the saturation down a little bit. Saturation. I'll bring that down a little bit, and probably too much. And now what's going to take this photo to the top now, it's one little trick that I think everybody should use, is actually brushing, where you want to edit. So in this photo, I'm obviously going to brush the background because there's like magenta and like yellow overcast on there. Desaturating that whole thing. Boom. Instantly. Gone. Don't want it to be like gray, but at the same time, don't want it to be like a rainbow. So yeah, just knock that thing right out. Bada bing, bada boom. See, I would add another brush right here. I should have hit the new. I would add another one right here just to kind of like clean it up a little bit. Very small right here. See that? Very faint. I mean, the picture is pretty much done. The last step, I'll go to the sharpening. Bring that up about right here. And then I'll mask it out a little bit. You could always hit Option on the Mac. I don't even know what it is on the PC. I'll let you know that later. I don't use that thing, but yeah, you can kind of see like where your sharpness is affecting. The white parts is where you're seeing most of the sharpening. So I would kind of like leave it like right here. So all you're seeing is kind of like the food. Probably bring it back a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, like right here. And honestly, that's it, You got a banging shot in under 10 minutes. Honestly, on a nice workflow, once you got it down pat, 10 minutes less, 5 minutes. If you have to go to Photoshop, that probably adds another 2 minutes if you know what you're doing. Bada bing, bada boom. I would crop that for Instagram and call it a wrap, literally. Right? Boom. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, because for the simple fact that that's a quick hack that could help you, speed up your workflow a little bit, especially if you're into food photography. That's something I do a lot, so I had to find a way to make it easier, make the process faster for me, and also not jeopardizing or giving away too much quality for the food, and to express the attitude and the quality of the food. So that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I would like for you guys to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to if you want, but I prefer you hitting that bell after you subscribe and get it together.